Good morning, everyone. My name is Izzy Greenberg. I am the Executive Director of the Middlesex Coalition for Children. And these calls are being sponsored by an early childhood partnership of 4 groups, including the Middlesex Coalition for Children, the Connecticut Association for Human Services, the Connecticut Early Childhood Alliance, and CSEA SEIU. Today's program, though, is a special one, and it is actually being co-sponsored by the Lieutenant Governor's Office, the state of Connecticut, the Office of Early Childhood. So we're so grateful for this robust partnership, and I'm glad we can all be here today for everybody to participate. Actually, either Jen or Ava, could you be sure that you're muting folks?
We're going to.
If it comes through, it's hard to hear. Thank you.
Izzy, you're muted.
Yeah, that's when I ask for everyone to be muted. That's what happens, I guess. So we have a lot going on today, and so we're sharing. But that means I have a little less control than I usually do. But as I was saying, I am so glad to all of the participants who are joining today, because this partnership is meaningless without all of the providers and teachers and advocates and everyone else who joins. So you are what make this whole thing meaningful. So thank you again for being here. So we have one short hour. We did start at 9:05 because we were having a little bit of technical difficulty to begin with, but we'll go till 10:05 this morning. So just want to let you know. A few things to mention. I've put it into the chat a few times actually, but let me make sure that it is to everyone in the meeting that we are requesting that everyone change their name, their screen name. Obviously, the folks who are our panelists don't need to do this, but anyone who's an attendee, if you can change your name using these codes that are in the chat right at the beginning, that will make it a lot easier for us when it comes time for me to call on people. Then I can call on people from, I'm not only choosing advocates or only choosing center-based. I want to be able to make sure that I'm able to call on people from a wide range of people across our sector. So that will help me out. The plan for today is that we're going to do about 20 minutes of listening time with Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz and Commissioner Beth Bai, who I will introduce in just one moment. And so those will be 30-second opportunities for you to tell them what your ideas are. And so while we are spending the next few minutes just going over this business of the day, if you have an idea, please take a moment just to write it down, because I am going to be strict on time. Each person will have only 30 seconds. And so I would love it if you could just put your notes down on paper to be sure that we have that. So next thing, can someone launch the first poll? We are going to do a quick poll for just to find out who's here with us today. And while that is running, let me just pass it to Liz, who's going to give us a quick update on where the federal money stands. Liz, can you go next? Are you ready?
I'm ready, sure. So last night, Congress passed a $2.3 trillion budget, which included the $10 billion for coronavirus for early childhood. While we know that's not enough, it's a great start, and we need that money desperately right now. So Connecticut will be receiving about $65 million of that funding. Their guidance is for this to come out quickly, and there will be more to come as time goes by. Since it just passed last night, we don't have all the information yet, but today is an important day to put down your ideas, because we need to know what is the most important for our centers, for our childcare providers, our licensed centers. Thank you. And home providers.
Great. Are folks seeing the poll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So if everybody could start working on that, it will be helpful to us to know who is here today. So, all right. Thank you so much, Liz. All right. So next, I just want to let you all know that we are going to use a program called Idea Boards today to put down all of these notes. And so Meryl will share a link to our day's idea board in the chat. You are welcome to open that up and contribute. If you can't do that, if you don't want to do that, that is completely fine. We know technology sometimes can be tricky if you're going back and forth. If you have ideas that you want to share but are not going to speak, and you're not using the board, you're welcome to put those ideas into the chat, and we'll make sure that they migrate over into that board. What's kind of neat about it is that it basically will look like a series of Post-it notes. And if you are able to open it, you are welcome to go in and give a thumbs up to any idea that you think is really valuable. And so there's a little bit of a crowdsourcing. We can see kind of what ideas float to the surface. And so if you want to, you are welcome to open that up and use it. And if you don't, that's okay too. Everybody just finish up that poll so I can end it. We only have about 50% voted. So if you can all do that, that would be great. Okay, so next, I am going to welcome and thank Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysowitz and OEC Commissioner Beth Bai, and allow the two of you to come. Let's see, let me get you up on the screen. Just one second. There we go. All right, and so I'm going to turn it over to the two of you just to give how you imagine the day. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Excellent. Thank you so much for gathering here today for this really important conversation about childcare in our state and how we can address some of the challenges and the barriers that providers are facing during the pandemic. And I thank you on behalf of the governor and our state for everything that you're doing to care for our children during this very challenging time. The governor and I appreciate everything that you've done to keep yourselves, your loved ones, and our children safe and healthy. And we know that this pandemic has had a huge impact on our childcare industry. We know that according to a National Association for the Education of Young Children, that 54% of the respondents from childcare and family childcare homes said they're losing money by remaining open. 81% said they're paying more for PPE in terms of their costs, and 47% of the respondents said they're putting supplies or other items on their personal credit cards or dipping into their personal savings accounts. You have provided such a critical service to countless families across the state. And so we know, we've heard from providers personally, the commissioner and I have, but we wanted to invite all of you to tell us what you need as our legislature gets ready to go into this new session, and as Congress prepares to start again in January. We're thrilled with the $10 billion that is coming for child care relief, but we know we need a lot more. And both the commissioner and I have been working with Congresswoman DeLauro to make sure that we bring funding to Connecticut. And it's very exciting that Congresswoman DeLauro is leading the Appropriations Committee. So she's going to have a really significant impact on funding for this vital industry. So I am looking forward to hearing directly from you, as is the commissioner, who had this brainchild of an idea that we should have a town hall, if you will, of all of our providers so that we can hear your ideas and give you an opportunity to propose solutions. And the other thing I did want to say is the commissioner and I are both part of the workforce, the governor's workforce development council. And we are on that council to be advocates for the idea, the very important idea, that the most critical infrastructure that we have in our economy and to full economic recovery is you, because you are providing parents with the opportunity for affordable and high quality childcare, which is critical to everyone getting back to work. So thank you. And I'm looking forward to listening. And it's my pleasure to introduce our amazing early childhood commissioner, Beth Bai.
Thanks so much, Lieutenant Governor Bysewicz. I can't thank you enough. You have been so responsive when I've called your office around childcare. These issues were important to you long before the pandemic hit, but in a crisis, you've really been there, and you've helped us connect with Congresswoman DeLauro, who was critical in getting the 10 billion passed. I'm just grateful to walk this with you step by step, and I know the providers appreciate you. It's so nice to see you all on camera. I actually have the gallery view, and I see so many familiar faces. I only wish we were in the room together and I'd be giving you hugs, but I can't right now. The other thing I just have to mention, it's such a big day for Connecticut early childhood as well, and early childhood across the country, with Miguel Cardona about to be, it sounds like by all accounts, appointed Secretary of Education for the United States of America. And I see faces out there, and you all know he's been a part of pre-K to 3. He's been a part of the Achievement Gap Council that took early childhood recommendations very seriously. And he, in Meriden, was a champion for early childhood. But I can't believe it. I'm so excited for him.
We're a little bit bummed about it, Commissioner.
I know.
But we're excited for him. Connecticut's loss is our country's gain.
Right. And so we want to, I want to quickly get to hear from you. The purpose of this meeting is to hear from you first in a large group where you'll have a chance to have the 30 seconds, and then in breakout groups where when you talk to each other, hopefully, you know, either new ideas will come or some resonance around experiencing the same issues. Well, all of you have been doing an incredible job out there staying open. We know you have incredible challenges. And I know we've done some things that are helpful as a state, but there are other things we've done that maybe haven't been helpful. There are challenges you face. We wanted to have really honest feedback. And when we planned this, Lieutenant Governor and I didn't know the $10 billion would have passed, but we're still getting into the details. And it seems like there needs to be an actual application process with these funds. They're not quite as easy to just roll out. And we only have 60 days to submit a plan to the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So this could not be more timely. At first in the bill, it was 15 days. Gratefully, that's changed. But now we really need to know from you. What do you need? What do families need? Because the bill also stresses supporting families with childcare affordability at this difficult time and helping essential workers. So we tried to do a lot of those things with our first tranche of money, which was about a third of what this will be. And we know you need more than 3 times what you got to help you make it through the next 6 months as the vaccine rolls out, which is hopeful, but it doesn't help your bottom line today. And it doesn't help the challenges you're facing operating during COVID today. So I'm gonna turn it back. The only other announcement I wanna make is that we are gonna be updating memo 6, 7, and 23 very soon. And you will be getting those from us, and there'll be new information about testing. And know that we also have a vaccine committee in the office that's working. And as we get information, it will come out to you. I don't think it looks as apparent as it is, but your advocacy is why childcare is in 1B, right up there with teachers, other frontline workers. It's not always listed first, but know that you're equally in the list with other organizations. So we'll also be, as we get information about that, which, as you know, is evolving by the day. I think the CDC just came up with those recommendations Friday. So Connecticut needs a little time for DPH to figure that out. But in terms of, there are some changes going on with even the testing community and where to get tested, et cetera. We don't want to spend this meeting on that. We want to focus on your input about what worked, what didn't, and what we can do better. So I'm going to turn it back to Izzy, I believe.
Yes.
And the Lieutenant Governor and I are all ears.
Okay, great. So I just want to, I've shared the poll results. I'm going to, in an effort to keep this timely, I'm just going to stop sharing that, but I think folks have a chance to look. We've got about 70% center-based, 25% home-based, some elected officials, some advocates here. And if a whole range of different funding sources people are receiving between school readiness and private pay, nonprofit, Care for Kids. I did hear from some of you that this poll was not applicable to all of you, so my apologies for that. But this does give us a good chance to just see a snapshot. We've got about 90% here today who are open, which is awesome. And then, you know, folks have also used some of the programs they've used to stay afloat. A lot of them have used CT Cares, PPP, Kickstart. So thank you all for responding to that. That is helpful to us. Okay, so we are now going to do a listening session. I'm going to call on people. It's going to be 30 seconds each. And I have a timer, so I'm going to just cut you off. I'm sorry if you get to 30 seconds. So you can also put your own timer on so that you can know how much time you've spent. So you are welcome to raise your hands if you want to. I have to turn off my chat for a few minutes. So if you're chatting me, I'm not going to see it. I have to turn that off so I can see who wants to speak. So first, I am going to call on, and actually, I really do need folks to raise their hands if they want to speak, and also to rename yourself, because some people's names aren't correct in there. So I know that even though her hand isn't raised, Carly Adames wanted to speak. So Carly, are you able to unmute and join us?
Yes, hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. Just quickly, to be completely blunt, we really just need funding support at this time for all centers. We're a center-based provider. I'm sorry, I couldn't change my name because I'm on my phone, but because of the pandemic, our enrollment has been down, as well as the restrictions given by the OEC. So because of that, all of them, our employees' compensation has been reduced. We're on CT Shares, which has been a great program through the state, but we have had teachers leave because of this, and then hiring new teachers, you can imagine it's hard to say, hey, do you want to come on board? And you'll be on unemployment. So, and your compensation will be reduced. So that's really difficult. So we really need funding both for center-based, and I know family child care providers as well, who are using their own money, really need straight funding. So that's it. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Carly. Next, we'll do Kate Vallow. You are just, you guys can unmute yourself. You can talk, and then once you've finished, if you can lower your own hand, that makes it easier for me.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for hosting this and for soliciting feedback from all of the stakeholders here. We are a center-based program, and the two areas of support that we'd be most interested in having with these funds are payroll support and tuition support. So payroll support would support the current model of staffing that we have to do given the pandemic right now. So we have some smaller group sizes, we have lower ratios, all that. I probably don't need to get into that. You all understand what I'm talking about. And tuition support would really be for families in the eventuality that we would have to close for a COVID-related reason for even as little as 2 days up to 2 weeks. So that's it. Thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Kate. Yesenia, are you available? Yesenia Rivera?
I am.
Great.
Hi. So I've run a before and after school program here in New Haven for 21 years now. I am the program director at Edgewood PTA Childcare. It is a program, it is a nonprofit. However, it is run within the school building. So right now we are closed. However, we received, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to be very blunt. We need funds. We need just unrestricted funding. We received initially in the early stages of the program, DSS funding. And we lost it when Governor Malloy transitioned DSS, before and after school program funding, to the Office of Early Childhood or State Department of Education, because we were not a STEM program. Our board decided that our program would just support what the schools were doing. So we did some tutoring, but it was more to be like a relaxed environment. To be
I
in
have to
school.
cut you off. Can you just, you want to finish up real quick?
Yeah, so just for us, we're not sure now at this point if we're even going to be able to reopen if we don't have some type of funding. We have about $200 left in our checking account, and we did use PPP, but that was for 8 weeks, so that's done. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I hope say that more PPP is coming, so get ready to apply for that.
Thank you. That's good to hear.
I just want to remind everyone that if you can also introduce yourself and tell us what kind of environment you are from. Are you center-based or family-based? And give us that introduction. That does also help. And so somebody, N-E-T-T, has their hand raised. You can join if you can. Unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I recently had a COVID-19 case at my daycare center. I'm center-based. The parents don't want to pay because I had to shut down until Monday. How do we handle something like that?
Great.
Is there funding for that? I heard the question before. Is there funding? Because I'm unlimited funds. I've used probably most of our personal savings to keep the center open.
Yeah, that's something we can definitely consider for the next round of funding. And we can also look at the small amount we have left now, but thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for everything you guys are doing for us.
Okay, I am going to call on Monisha Gibson next. Go ahead.
Good morning, Monisha Gibson. Thank you, Commissioner Bai and your entire team for all that you have done. Lieutenant Governor, thank you as well. I first and foremost would like to say that I'd like to see funding, if we can, speak to increased compensation for early childhood providers. I think that we are all aware that they are underpaid in the field. And I think this is a wonderful time to leverage paying them respectable salaries. And that competitive to what a first-year teacher makes going into programs. And I also just want to say, because I know I have 30 seconds, that we need to share the narrative while we are open so that parents can go back to work. That is not our primary focus. We are the first 5 years of life are the most critical. 90% of brain development happens during that time. And we are open because we need to educate children to do their best and lay that foundation. I believe we need more pay for teachers, and we need to do that. And we need to leverage it right now. And money for cleaning as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Monisha. I love
You're welcome.
how succinct that everybody is trying so hard to be. I'm so grateful. It just means that we get to hear from more of you. So it's really, it's just so we can hear from more people. But thank you so much. Okay, the next person I'm going to call on is David Morgan.
Hi, good morning, Lieutenant Governor, Commissioner, and also the Governor. As you know so well, the landscape of family childcare, and you think about what the state of Connecticut has done in pioneering and innovating. I mean, the whole point of this is being here for families and increasing accessibility for high quality childcare. So I really want to underscore what Connecticut has already done in the family childcare landscape and what a great opportunity this is to continue to double down on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Georgia Goulburn, you'll be next.
Hi, good morning, Commissioner Bai and Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz. I would just like to thank you once again, echo everything that everyone has been saying. I don't think I'm gonna, my comment can be 30 seconds, but I'm gonna just quickly do it. Everybody's going to come and say that they need money, and so I'm not going to repeat that. So what I'm going to say is what we need is an equity lens when we determine how to distribute money. We know that early childhood is in this space because women's work isn't valuable, and women of color who are occupying the space, our work has never been valued throughout history. And so everybody's going to come and say, and we all know we have the same needs, but I want to just put out out in the universe again, that even though we are struggling with the same needs, we are not experiencing this virus in the same way. And so what I want is an equity lens when we're starting to think about how to reimagine how money gets distributed in the early care realm.
Thank you so much, Georgia. And that's great. And that's absolutely necessary. That's the right lens to be considering this from. So thank you. And can I also remind folks that if you don't want to, you have children yelling in the background, whatever it is, if you don't want to vocalize your ideas, you are welcome to chat them. We will make sure that everything that goes in the chat is written down on the board, and everyone will have a chance to see that. So you're welcome to do that. Okay, Jacqueline, you're next. Are you able to unmute yourself? Okay. If you are at some point, you're welcome to raise your hand again. Okay, how about Eileen Costello?
Jacqueline was able to unmute herself. Is he?
She was?
Go ahead, Jacqueline.
No lo junté. Espérense.
Oh, all right. We can come back to that. I'm sorry. That may be on the Spanish side. Is that what's happening? We'll come back to that. We'll figure that out behind the scenes. Okay, Eileen, you're next, and then Idania.
Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to do 3 quick ideas. Continue the PPE that was very successful with the bulk buying. It really helped our community out. Fund programs that are open fully until we get over this crisis. I mean, I know that has changed from last year, but as long as the programs are open and serving families, they really have no control over classrooms being closed, et cetera, and the lower ratios, so to fully fund them. And the third thing is just whatever new ideas we come up with, can we make sure that they're sustainable initiatives? Because we don't want to start something new and then not be able to sustain it. And I understand the COVID piece that, this is a crisis, but whatever foundations we're laying, let's make sure that they're sustainable. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's see. Idania, are you available? You have to unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna speak in Spanish, it's my primary language.
That's fine.
Quiero decir que las ayudas, monetariamente hablando, son fabulosas, nos han ayudado enormemente, pero son ayudas a corto plazo, porque tarde o temprano esas ayudas obviamente van a cesar. Entonces, necesitamos un plan a largo plazo, especialmente nosotras las proveedoras de cuidado infantil en el hogar. Necesitamos un programa que ayude a promover nuestros lugares de cuidado, para promover el servicio que damos, hacerles saber a los padres que estamos aquí para brindar un servicio de calidad a pesar de la condición de pandemia por la cual estamos pasando. Tenemos que transmitir a los padres seguridad a la hora de traer a sus niños a nuestros lugares de cuidado, que estamos siguiendo los protocolos de higiene, que no tienen por qué temer.
Gracias. Eva.
Thank you for creating these programs that are so fabulous and that are so necessary for all the providers. But in order for us to give the best service to all the children and all the parents that we currently have under our care, we have to make sure that these programs are accessible and available to all the providers. And these programs extend more financing and funding to make sure that these programs stay as fabulous as they can be. We are here as providers servicing the parents day in and day out. We are trying to give them the safest and most secure care as possible, but we do need that financing now. We need it as equitable as possible. Idania,
thank you.
Is that okay?
That's great. Thank you. Gracias, Idania. Okay, John Catalan, you're next.
Hi, Commissioner, Lieutenant Governor. I just want to make John Catalan. I'm with the Connecticut Alliance of YMCAs. While we have everyone here, I also want to make aware summer camp is childcare as well. And let's not forget that kids are going to need summer camp this summer. We've talked to Dr. Edie about possibly including camp counselors in the inoculation with teachers and early child care teachers. And Also, access to rapid tests if we're not, the pandemic isn't through by the end of May or June, but camp is going to be so vitally important this summer for children. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Steffi Martinez, you're next.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yes, I just would like to express something that a lot of providers in my region have expressed to me, is that there has been a lot of support for childcare centers in regarding to their marketing, and they would like more support also from the state marketing their home-based childcare program. And like Idania said, just to let parents know that this is also a safe place.
Great. Thank you, Steffi. Kim Harris, and then Patty O'Hanlon, then Minnie Santosh. Kim, go ahead.
Hi, yes, thank you. Thank you to all on the phone. I have a center and I have a group. I service the most underserved neighborhood in New Haven, New Hallville. And we've been having conversations with parents and the community around the COVID testing. I'd like to see, community conversations that will help to bring information to the forefront around the shot. My community is very fearful of it. And it can't be really in a digital mode because 1/3 of the population in New Hallville does not have access to digital communications. So I'd like for us to figure out a way that we can dispense information to our parents and in our surrounding community. Thank you so much.
And
thank you so much.
Kim, can I just say, Izzy,
yes,
that our office will be doing a lot of that outreach. So Kim, we'll get your contact information and we'll figure out how we can work with you, because you are so right and we want to make that communication happen.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And also in January, we are going to be doing a series of webinars about the vaccine. So I just want to let everybody know we're in the middle of organizing those now. We only have time for a few more people, and then we're going to go into breakout rooms. Patty and then Minnie.
Good morning, Commissioner Bai and Lieutenant Beisowitz. 4 things. One, Monisha, I totally agree with her. This is the time to advocate for early childhood salary increases. We need to bring us up to where public school teachers are if the state is requiring teachers to have credentials. So that's number 1. Number 2 is we really would like to see school readiness rates increase for part day and school day, since they have never been increased at all since its inception in 1997. It's not just full day. Full day has gotten increases over the past, but not part day and school day. Third thing is I agree with, we need to have funding for payroll, because we have had to increase hours for staff because of cleaning and because of setting up the playground, because we do more outside play now, and we have to build structures now to provide children with some kind of shelter. And the fourth is care for kids. We really need to have new enrollment include families that are on unemployment right now because they've lost their jobs. They want to come to school, but they're not eligible for care for kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Minnie, Julie, Dorothelia, and then we're going to go into breakout rooms. So Minnie, please go ahead. And if everyone can be as succinct as possible.
Good morning, Commissioner Bai, Lieutenant. And it's just repeat the same question, but I wanted to make sure that I brought the question up there. The reimbursements or the rates have to be increased because we have not had a raise for a very long time. School readiness and CDC both. The other part is definitely supported more. We are fully funded because we've been open since forever, but when we shut down classrooms, it affects us. The parent fees is not coming in, and that's affecting, to just keep the lights on in the building. So it's important we are supported well on that. Shortage in staffing. It's we should be compensated well. It's very important. It's critical. There is a crisis to hire efficient staff if we can pay them better. So it's very important and, very critical. Thank you.
Thank you, Minnie. Okay, Julie. Julie Clark, you disappeared.
Hi. Just really quickly, I think if we can establish some kind of program, minimum wage is going up, which it should, but we're having trouble paying wages already. And as minimum wage goes up, then of course, everyone on the staff's wages need to increase as well. So if there was some kind of program put in place to help our industry raise wages at the very least to minimum wage and above, that would be really helpful. And it would also help us in terms of new hires. Thank you. And thanks for all you're doing.
Thanks, Julie. And then there was Dorothea. Are you still there? Anyone who has private chatted me their ideas, please send those to Merrill. You can private chat them to him, but he's the recorder today. And so I'm afraid they'll get lost if they were sent only to me. So please send that. Okay, and we are going to go into breakout rooms now. Thank you all so much for that information, and really appreciate you all taking the time to say that. We're going to go into breakout rooms. The idea is for these ideas to keep flowing. What we want is for, if someone who can use idea boards can be a recorder and put into that space, more than one person can do that as well. But Meryl, can you please share that link again? In each room, we're going to do breakout rooms. The lieutenant governor and commissioner are going to be coming in and out of those rooms. So they will still get to hear from you. And we're going to be in those rooms until 10 o'clock. All right, let's see. I think I can start those. Someone else was organizing them. Just one second. Ava, did you have anything to add while I'm just starting these? Or Meryl, Liz? No, okay, great. All right, here we go. Rooms should be open, people should be joining. I'll find you. So thank you everyone for that great work in breakout rooms. I know that is not that easy to do, to sort of think fast and think as a group, but we appreciate all of the work you've done. I am going to do a quick screen share because we're just about to be finished, but I want you all to see all of the ideas that you've come up with. So this is, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. So if you have access, and Meryl, if you can share that link one more time in the chat, people don't need to read this. It's too much to read. Mostly I want you to see just the length and how much amazing stuff is in here. You are welcome to go to this link. Now we're going to leave it open for the rest of the afternoon until about noon. So if you want to go into to that link after this meeting is over, you can go in and you'll click, if you like something, you click on it and you hit that thumbs up button, and then that will give you the chance to effectively vote. So we want to make sure you can also go to sort by, and you can sort by votes. And so that will help to see things that are popular will rise to the top. So if that is preferable for you, if that makes it easier to organize, you're welcome to do it that way. You can do it by created time. You can view by the different sections if you want to just look at one section at a time, and you're welcome to add more to it. So if there are things that you're still thinking about that you are, hold on one second, let me mute that. If there are things that you've thought of, between now and noon, I would say you're welcome to add those things in.
Okay, Izzy, can I just mention one thing, and maybe Merrill can put this into his idea board. So I've made the suggestion, since so many people have talked about the issue of funding, that any family provider or center should, if they are not part of the Women's Business Development Council, reach out to them in Stamford. They have offices in New Haven and New London, and they will help people apply for the new PPP that's coming, the new EIDL, the new DECD program that the governor just announced yesterday for $35 million. And I know, because I'm working with them on that they are also doing another program probably in the beginning of January for micro businesses owned by women. So please, 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 if you are not part of their listserv, call them, tell them I sent you, join right away, because there are funding opportunities that will be available, and they'll give you the best information about how to access it.
Yes, thank you. And we actually have been working with them over time and have had them on our call a number of times. And I suspect we'll probably do it again moving forward. So thank you.
Our office will be doing a lot with Fran Pastore and the WBDC. So we'll make sure you know about that.
Yes, thank you.
I just got an email, and National Women's Law Center has estimated that Connecticut will be getting $66,330,355.
Great.
So,
wow.
Great,
Excellent.
thank you. Thank you for jumping in on that. I know that we have a lot of, and I'm sorry, I cannot call everyone out, but we have a number of elected officials who have joined us this morning. Ava, do you have that list?
Yeah, so we had Michelle Cook, Representative Michelle Cook, Representative Robin Porter, we had Representative Tony Walker, we had Representative Robin Comey. And if I miss anyone, please chime in, but that's who I saw in our chat list here.
We love our women legislators. Thank you.
Yes.
Eva.
Yes, thank you. And, of course, thank you to we had approximately 400 people here today in and out. And so thank you to everyone who was able to join us this morning and make time for this. If you have friends who weren't able to join, but you want to share that idea board with them, this is a good time to do it. We've got another 2 hours that it will stay open. I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor for being here with us today. I want to thank the Office of Early Childhood Commissioner, Beth Bai, Susan Beisowitz. Thank you so much for partnering with us in this way and coming to speak to and learn from our community. This is truly where the wisdom is. The folks on this call really, really know their stuff. And so I feel privileged to be able to help facilitate these kinds of conversations.
Izzy, we really have to thank you. We have to thank SEIU, CAUSE, the Alliance, and the Middlesex Coalition. This wouldn't have happened without you. And you really taught us with the idea board and the breakout sessions a more effective way that we can get feedback. So we'll be using that. I'm so grateful for your leadership throughout the pandemic.
And we're going to make that, I know that our office made a copy of the idea board. We're going to share it with Congresswoman DeLauro, who is on her way back to Connecticut. And we think that it's really going to inform what she does going forward. So thank you so much, all of you, for sharing and for helping.
Yes, and I just wanted to also just add that, this is the team of folks. Oh, not Idania, you're wonderful, but I didn't mean to spotlight you. My apologies. I was trying to spotlight Ava and you were right next to her. But I just wanted to spotlight that this is the group that this whole group here is the group that made this all happen. And so thank you to each and every one of you for helping to do this. And of course, we're happy to do this anytime. This is exactly why we have built this group, is to create these connections and be a conduit between decision makers and the wisdom holders. So so thank you, everyone. We will wrap up, only 2 minutes late. And I hope everyone has a restful holiday season and a beautiful new year. And here's to 2021. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure.
Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you, everyone.
Shukran.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good,
thank you.
excellent